Okay guys, in this video I want to show you a few things I picked up at a local Habitat for Humanity store, also known as a Goodwill store. I was walking around one aisle and this was sitting towards the end of a cabinet along the floor, and right away I figured it was just nuts, bolts, and other fasteners. So I leaned down to take a look at it because I kind of recognized this cabinet from the 80s and something that electronics would be in. So I started to look inside, and sure enough, there's a bunch of components in here which looked like it belonged to somebody working on CB radios or other radios. This entire cabinet you see here with all the components in it was $12, but you get 30% off. So with the discount I ended up paying $8.85 with tax for everything you're going to see inside these drawers. So let's take a look at the top left first. In here appears to be a bunch of tunable inductors which look like the IF cans, intermediate frequency. A whole bunch of those never used. Over here says L1. Clearly this is a resonant circuit. You have a coil in parallel with the capacitor. I don't know what they use it for, but it might come in handy for something. Over here, there's a simple push-on, push-off switch, rated at 3 amps at 125 volts. Let's take a look in the next drawer. Over here, you can see there's a bunch of potentiometers, 5K, a couple of 10K, and a whole bunch of these IF cans. You can see the capacitor right here, which is in parallel with the winding inside the can. Next one down here, just a couple in this drawer. K4028, Taiwan. Oh, that's pretty good. Everything now is made in China. Alright, so let's see here. A couple of transistors. It's an NTE 960, 5 volt voltage regulator. I guess that's the equivalent to an LM7805. And a couple of relay coils. In this one here we have more tunable inductors. This will come in handy for some FM projects. And another, that's a 25K, a slide switch, a couple of slide switches. You have a phono jack and a DC jack. Over here we have an analog gauge, little transformer. And this right here appears to be a socket for a relay, which is pretty neat actually, because you can plug the relay in and connect up to these screw terminals to be able to use the relay. So I do like that. Let's take a look at the bottom one. Let's pull that out, let's take a look at it. And right here is probably, which one is that? That is a 12 volt DC relay. And that's a 6 volt. Looks like a bunch of standoffs and maybe stainless steel. Has that look. Put that back in. Top one here. More of these IF cans. And the number is different from the other ones. That's an F10. It looks like an F101. A couple of more of these coils right here. L4, L3. Another potentiometer. Let's take a look here. And we have a different type of tunable inductor. So this is pretty much tunable inductors and potentiometers, 10K. Made in Taiwan. I don't see the rating on this one. And we remember these. These are the 300 ohm to 75 ohm cable TV converters from years ago. This is probably from the 80s, this thing. Right here is a microphone jack on the paper. Let's get this out of here, it's kind of stuck. Alright, here is just a bunch of knobs and push buttons. What does that say? PACB, yep. So this person was working on CB radios. Channel. These knobs will come in very handy for my potentiometers. The next one, a whole bunch of what appears to be as audio transformers. I have no idea what these were used for right here. Yep. And again, not too sure if these are power or audio. I have to look up that number. And what do I got in the bottom here? More relays. Potter and Brumfeld. They're all different voltages. This one here, I don't see the voltage on it. A smaller one. 12 volt. I definitely got my money's worth for $8, that's for sure. A couple of more cans. Take a look at this one here. This one here is a different number again. This is a F100. And a couple more potentiometers right here. These are, looks like 50K each. So they do have a decent assortment. I'm not sure if they're linear or logarithmic. Now this is cool. These look like RF chokes right here. Yep. Old phono plugs. Actually good ones. Unscrew them. Solder everything right in. These aren't cheap. More tunable inductors. What do we got here? Yep, these are all inductors. These will come in handy for other projects. Back in there. Let's see what's in here. This whole thing I'm throwing away once I take all my shit out of it. A bunch of click on, click off switches, multiple positions. A big one right in here. Okay, whoop, that's not good. I don't care anyway because I'm throwing it away. Now what do I got here? 50K. 50K. A whole bunch of 50K ohm potentiometers as well as 10K ohm slide type. Yeah, this is all mangled in here. Let's see if I can lift this up. Grab this. Yeah, it's caught on the steel. Let me grab this and bend it a little bit. Now it should be able to come out. Yep. Alright. Bunch of power indicators. These, I'm sure, because of their age, they are pretty good quality. Sylvania. These are going to be incandescent. This is just a bulb in there. 24 volt and more of these little transformers. And what do I got here? Let's see. These are some knobs. Old style knobs. And at the bottom another large transformer. A couple of slide switches. This one works in one direction and momentary the other way. And this is some sort of a switch, but I don't see how it changes. Something must have gone in these holes. I don't know, I have to look at that. But I just wanted to show you this. It was a pretty good score for $8.50, and I'm sure I'll be able to use these components for future projects. Now let me show you another item which I scored big on. When I was inside that store, I also came across a section for lighting, and there was just a whole bunch of stuff piled up on top, and I caught a glimpse of the copper here, and I started moving stuff to the side, and when I saw the size of these two toroids, I knew this was from a high-end lighting product, and those products are usually worth hundreds of dollars when you have these transformers like this. When I turned it over, I saw that there was a fuse right here. That's 25 amps. And this one here as well. That's 25 amps. I looked at the price tag on it, and when you hear how much I got this for, you are going to flip out. This retails for around $500 to $750, and I tested the windings on the toroids, and there is nothing wrong with them. I paid $7.50. There was also a cover to this, which I did not want, so I threw it out, but there is an image of it right here. Take notice of the model number circled in red and the current rating. Now I'm going to show you online at Amazon.com exactly how much these things go for. This was the biggest score I've ever had at that Habitat for Humanity store. Luckily, the person that priced this item did not know exactly what this was. I'm going to end up taking out these circuit breakers and using them for something else. And I'm going to take out the huge toroid on the bottom. You can see over here, these two wires is where the 5 amps, 120 volts AC goes into the large toroid. And then you have two sets of outputs. The yellow and this black completes the circuit. You'll have 12 volts AC if the proper load is on there, around 300 watts. And then the other side of the toroid between this black and here gives you the other 300 watts. So this is a very powerful toroid, and I'll end up probably keeping it as it is. The smaller toroid on top, I think I'm going to end up making a variac with that. So in the future, you may see a video showing that toroid. I also came across the strobe circuit. You can see the flash tube inside, and it's hard for you to see, but there's a huge capacitor underneath and a circuit for charging up to fire that tube. That's in there. This was never used. There's a speaker here, or a siren. I paid $2 for this at that store. So I really made out like a bandit. So for approximately $18, I got this strobe light with the siren. I got that massive 600 watt power supply with the extra toroid, which is used for monorail lighting, 12 volt. They also have it for 24, but I'm glad this is 12 volt. And I got all the parts inside that storage cabinet. If you enjoyed this video, please rate it a thumbs up, subscribe, and post links to this video on other websites and blogs. Also be sure to check out my video playlist as well. Thank you very much for watching.